Before I begin this review, I want to give a rest in peace shout out to Young Dolph, who was killed today in his hometown of Memphis. Young Dolph meant a lot to the Memphis hip hop community. It's a sad situation. R.I.P. Dolph. But yo, it's your boy Mixtape Moth, and today I'm going to hit y'all with a review of the new Eddie Kaine and Big Ghost collaborative album entitled A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. Let's get to it. Alright, so Eddie Kaine is a hungry rapper coming out of Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Now, to be honest, I'm not too familiar with his catalog, but I have heard him on features over the past year or so. Therefore, this is the first Eddie Kaine album that I've listened to, and my thoughts are that he is a confident and straightforward rapper who can do a little storytelling, a little braggadocio, but his content is mostly street-centered and very much about his hometown of BK. This new album can be looked at as a love letter to Brooklyn, New York. It's about as Brooklyn as a Spike Lee flick. Now, to provide the sonic backdrop for the entire project, Eddie Kaine enlisted the ever-elusive Big Ghost, who in 2021 has already produced an album for both Conway and Ransom. And on this project, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, Big Ghost doesn't deviate from his normal soulful production template. In fact, he doubles down on it, as all the instrumentals have some elements of 60s and 70s soul to the production. So if you like soul chops and repetitive vocal loops, this will be right up your alley. As far as the features are concerned, Eddie Kaine brought along Rim, Skyzoo, Ty Ferris, UFO Thief, Vic Spencer, and Easy Money. This thing contains 12 tracks and clocks in at around the 38.5-minute mark. But with that being said, let me go ahead and hit y'all with this track-by-track breakdown. The opener, Can't Look Back, finds Eddie Kaine doing some introspection over a mournful soul sample that's dusty and repetitive. He talks about the burning of his family's home and how that affected him. Crib burned down on Quincy Street. Bless my family made it out alive. Ain't nobody call or check on me. Had to see the building burn on live. Man, that's cold. But still, despite these intense setbacks, Eddie Kaine seems focused on looking ahead and not looking back. Overall, I thought this was a strong opening track as I dug the emotion and pain in the sample, and of course, Eddie's lyrics and struggle seem to resonate. Now, track 2, East Flatbush, has a moody yet captivating sample with a bit more of a drum presence, is slightly more up-tempo than the preceding track also. Here, Eddie Kaine speaks on having one foot in crime while convincing his team to go legit. I did like the hunger that he brought to this track, but I found the following bars to be a little cringeworthy and kind of generic. Y'all think I'm popping X-Lax? What can they tell me? I'm shitting everywhere. You smell me? The following, If You Know Me, contains the most unique sample on the project by far. It's both psychedelic and funky. I found the organ and the vocal sample to be really striking. Eddie Kaine flexes his street cred and offers up some braggadocio while also working in the sample into his lyrics. Yeah, as a whole, I enjoyed the bold street talk and the banging production. Track 4 is Keep It True, which finds Eddie Kaine rapping about being a street dude, but also a wordsmith. And that's what he represents, as he's only concerned with staying true to himself. I found the following bars to be some of Eddie's most memorable from the album. From the home of Biggie Smalls, all I know is sky's the limit. Ain't no Mount Rushmore of rap if Kane's face ain't engraved in it. Now, you might think he's talking about the legendary Big Daddy Kane, but no, he's talking about himself. Afterwards is the storytelling track Fatal Attraction. This is a conceptual song where he is able to stay on topic, and while I liked how he was able to paint a picture, I did find the production to be a bit bland when compared to some of the other samples. It's probably the only instrumental that really didn't do much for me on the entire project. Then there is the highlight, All Wrong plus Bucktown Salute, which is a 2-part song featuring Rim. The two do a solid back and forth on 2 separate beats, the first being a little more up-tempo and aggressive, whereas the second uses the same horn and jazzy sample from Smith & Wesson's classic single Bucktown. So you already know this has a real distinct Brooklyn flavor. I think Tech and Steel would be proud of Eddie and Rim's homage and back and forth. After this is Hustlers On. Here, Eddie Kaine talks about being a product of his environment and being raised by the wolves, so all he knows is the hustle. This is built around a melancholy soul loop that could have easily been a part of any recent West Side Gun album. Track 8 is Connie Hawkins, which has a warm and attractive sample that will give you strong 70s blaxploitation vibes. Eddie Kaine gives us some decent wordplay, but the bulk of this record is about him going hard for his borough of Brooklyn. What comes next is Free Lunch, featuring the fellow Brooklynite Sky Zoo. The two rap over a soul-drenched beat that is the epitome of smooth. While Eddie Kaine held his own, it was ultimately Sky Zoo who had the best verse, but this really shouldn't come as a big surprise. Track 10 is Getting Over It, a record with a hazy and wailing soul chop that finds Eddie Kaine switching up to a double time flow. So nothing really jumped out at me bar wise, but I did like the energy, the flow change up, and the particular soul sample. The penultimate track is the slightly more energetic I Got 'Em. On this one, Eddie Kaine talks about overcoming, beating the odds, and making his mama proud. Even though I could appreciate the sentiment, I don't have this as a standout track. Then the album wraps up with the posse cut Suicide Squad, which features Ty Ferris, UFO Feeve, Vic Spencer, and Easy Money, all going in over this 70s heroin-like soul production. Although everyone came correct, I did find UFO Feeve's verse to be the most impressive, but as a whole, this is one of the top songs from the album. Overall, I give this project a rating of 3.5 mics. When it came to the production, I would actually give Big Ghost a 4, as I found these instrumentals to be superior to the ones that he gave Ransom. Now, the dark, moody, mid-tempo, and at times busy soul beats might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I think it made for an enjoyable listening experience, especially given that at this moment in time, Eddie Kaine doesn't have the most distinct or captivating voice. Not to take anything away from Eddie Kaine, who is a capable rapper and he does bring a lot of hunger to these tracks, but I feel the production was the main selling point for this project. Still, Eddie Kaine does do a decent job of putting on for his hometown and keeping things Brooklyn to the core. My favorite tracks include Can't Look Back, East Flatbush, If You Know Me, All Wrong, plus Bucktown Salute, Connie Hawkins, Free Lunch, and Suicide Squad. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section below. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. Eddie Kaine, Big Ghost, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn 1.